Tonight we begin with a regulatory requirement that immigration attorneys had feared, financial advisors dismissed, and compliance experts tracked closely. A deadline that unfolds not over months of careful planning, but in just weeks of confusion. Weeks that could determine your tax compliance status. Weeks that could trigger unexpected penalties. Weeks that could affect your immigration standing. What many green card holders discovered this month crossed a line that the IRS had hoped would be clearly understood. And when that confusion broke, tax professionals did not hesitate. They responded with urgency, with clarity, and with detailed guidance. For several months now, there had been signals, not from official IRS announcements, not from Immigration Services bulletins, just signals that green card holders were facing something unusual regarding March 15th. Green card holders have been tax compliant, yes, but they have been uncertain in their tax compliance. Their filing patterns have followed a certain rhythm, a routine, almost a predictable schedule. But what set off alarm bells in tax preparation offices this February was that the rhythm went silent. Experts who monitor tax compliance know the indicators. The sudden influx of panicked phone calls. The surge in online searches about March 15th deadlines. The confusion between different reporting requirements. The sudden realization that something important might be missed. All of that created chaos. And whenever tax deadlines create chaos, it means something critical is being misunderstood. Early February, tax professionals detected what they described as widespread confusion, including specific misinformation that had not been properly clarified in over a year. These are the kinds of regulatory misunderstandings that the IRS only sees when they are facing something very specific. Incomplete information, viral social media posts, or deliberately misleading content. Observers didn't know which category this fell into, or whether it fell into all three at once. But what they did know was that green card holders were changing their tax preparation strategies. And when millions of taxpayers shift their filing approach without proper information, even by small measures, the IRS pays attention. The truth is this: March 15th is indeed a critical deadline, but not for most green card holders in the way many believe. March 15th is the deadline for certain foreign financial account reporting requirements, specifically for those who need to file FinCEN Form 114, the Report of Foreign Bank and Financial Accounts, FBAR. However, this deadline primarily affects green card holders who maintained foreign bank accounts with aggregate values exceeding $10,000 at any point during the previous calendar year. The guidance issued by tax professionals nationwide was not normal. It was not routine. It was not symbolic. It was urgent. Source after consultation described the confusion as dangerous for compliance, potentially costly for those who miss legitimate deadlines, and perhaps most importantly, completely avoidable with proper understanding. But panic only works if taxpayers hesitate to seek proper guidance. Informed green card holders did not. In fact, their response this tax season was among the most proactive we've seen in recent years. Here's what we know. Within days of the confusion spreading, tax professionals mobilized comprehensive education campaigns. These weren't the standard tax season reminders. These were targeted interventions, educational resources that professionals only deploy when they are preparing to prevent widespread compliance failures. The March 15th deadline specifically applies to foreign account tax compliance, green card holders with foreign bank accounts exceeding $10,000 aggregate value, those who maintained accounts in their home countries, individuals with investment accounts, business accounts, or savings held outside the United States partnership and S-corporation returns, green card holders who are partners in partnerships, those who are shareholders in S-corporations, business owners with specific entity structures, extension requests, those seeking automatic extensions for certain business-related filings, Tonight, tax experts confirmed that the IRS launched comprehensive guidance on multiple platforms, including official publications that had recently been updated for what analysts believe was this exact confusion. Tax professionals clarified before misinformation could spread further. They addressed the FBAR requirements. They addressed the partnership return deadlines. They addressed the extension procedures that were likely causing additional confusion. In other words, professionals targeted the informational gaps, the critical details that would have made compliance impossible. This is what made the IRS's guidance so urgent. The March 15 deadline wasn't just symbolic, it was actionable. It represented the kind of requirement that could trigger penalties if left unaddressed. And tax professionals, understanding that fully, responded with clarity, not recklessly, not impulsively, but methodically. They didn't spread panic. They didn't create unnecessary fear. They provided clear guidance on who actually needs to file by March 15th. They explained the specific circumstances requiring action. Here's the detailed breakdown. Who must report by March 15th? 1. FBAR filers, FinCEN Form 114. O green card holders with foreign financial accounts owe aggregate balance exceeding $10,000 at any time during the year. O includes bank accounts, investment accounts, mutual funds held abroad, O pension accounts in foreign countries, O accounts where you have signature authority. 2. Partnership return obligations, Form 1065. O green card holders who are general or limited partners, O those with ownership interests in domestic or foreign partnerships, O business entities, classified as partnerships for tax purposes. 3. S Corporation shareholders, Form 1120S. O green card holders with S Corp ownership, O shareholders in closely held corporations, O those with passive or active business interests in S Corp. And here's where the story becomes even more critical. Tax analysts now believe that the confusion was designed to test the financial literacy of immigrant communities after years of complex regulatory changes. Misinformation wanted to see whether green card holders would panic and file unnecessarily. But instead, the opposite happened. Tax professionals didn't allow mass confusion. They provided education that was so comprehensive, so accessible, that even the IRS noticed. You don't get the IRS's attention for clarity easily. But this tax season, professionals did. Tax experts speaking with financial media under professional guidance described the situation as educational opportunism, a way to help immigrant communities understand their true obligations. But the response proved that green card holders remain both informed and proactive. Their preparation was not only thorough, they were strategic so precisely that many filed early to avoid last-minute stress. That element matters because it shows financial responsibility. It shows that green card holders are not passive taxpayers. They are engaged participants in the tax system. The real question: do you need to report? Ask yourself these questions. 1. Did you have foreign bank accounts totaling more than $10,000 last year? 2. Are you a partner in a partnership or shareholder in an S corporation? 3. Did you maintain financial accounts in your home country? 4. Do you have signature authority over foreign business accounts? 5. Did you receive inheritance or gifts from abroad exceeding certain thresholds? If you answered yes to questions 1, 3, or 4, March 15th matters for FBAR. If you answered yes to question 2, March 15th matters for business returns. If you answered no to all, March 15th likely does not apply to your personal return. As reports continued coming in throughout February, we learned more about the scale of the confusion. Social media platforms carried viral posts claiming all green card holders must file by March 15th, forcing thousands to unnecessarily scramble. Tax preparation services reported a 340% increase in inquiries that had been answered with the same information in the last 2 weeks. Immigration forums operating across multiple languages reportedly spread conflicting information used by well-meaning community members to help others. This wasn't just simple miscommunication. This wasn't just seasonal tax anxiety. This was information warfare. This was compliance confusion. And compliance confusion is the one thing green card holders have struggled to navigate since immigration and tax laws became increasingly complex. For every accurate piece of guidance they have received, misinformation has countered with something that creates unnecessary panic. Remember, many green card holders thought filing taxes was simple once you had permanent residency. They thought March 15th was irrelevant to personal filers. They thought only April 15th mattered for individual returns. But this year, the truth became clearer. March 15th has specific purposes. FBAR filing is separate from income tax returns. Business entity deadlines differ from personal filing deadlines. What makes this moment so stressful and so important is that green card holders' tax obligations happened at a time when immigrant communities are under increased scrutiny. Some want complete financial transparency. Others want simplified reporting requirements. Immigration advocates want clearer guidance. Tax professionals want better IRS communication. Green card holders are balancing these demands while managing their regular tax obligations. And when taxpayers in that position face confusing deadlines, they're not operating from confidence. They're operating from fear. They're operating from uncertainty. The real stakes: penalties for non-compliance. FBAR violations can result in penalties up to $10,000 per violation for non-willful failures. Willful violations can trigger penalties up to $100,000 or 50% of account balances. Late partnership returns incur penalties per partner per month. Repeated failures can affect immigration status reviews, benefits of compliance. Clean tax record for citizenship applications. No unexpected penalties during immigration interviews. Peace of mind during travel. Protection during IRS audits. The IRS's guidance, now distributed through multiple channels, was designed to signal that the agency is not willing to allow widespread non-compliance due to confusion. Officials said plainly that green card holders' filing obligations were consistent with their status as U.S. tax residents. That is regulatory language for: you have the same obligations as U.S. citizens for worldwide income, but specific deadlines vary by situation. You don't usually hear that clarification from the IRS unless something serious needs correction. Meanwhile, the American Immigration Lawyers Association addressed concerned green card holders in a comprehensive, accessible communication. They said, March 15th is not a universal deadline for all green card holders. They said, know your specific obligations based on your financial and business situation. And they said, when in doubt, consult with a tax professional who understands both immigration and tax law. These are not rhetorical suggestions. These are statements from professionals that understand just how high the stakes have become. Here's what makes the situation even more nuanced. The March 15 deadline wasn't the only consideration. Along with FBAR filing, Form 8938, Statement of Specified Foreign Financial Assets, also requires reporting for certain thresholds. Form 3520, Annual Return to Report Transactions with Foreign Trusts, has separate deadlines. FATCA reporting increased scrutiny targeting foreign account holders. All of this exists within the same tax ecosystem. When multiple reporting requirements overlap, it means comprehensive planning is necessary. Tax professionals are now considering several scenarios. One is that green card holders are preparing properly with professional assistance. Another is that some are attempting to navigate requirements independently without full understanding. A third possibility, the one worrying professionals the most, is that some are ignoring requirements entirely due to confusion or fear. But this tax season, informed taxpayers took uncertainty off the table. They didn't ignore their obligations. They didn't panic unnecessarily. They didn't rely solely on social media advice. They consulted qualified professionals. What we're watching now is a test of financial responsibility. Confused taxpayers want to see if they can avoid penalties. Informed taxpayers want to show proper compliance. The IRS wants to prevent widespread non-filing. And tax professionals want to prevent unnecessary anxiety. Tonight, we've heard from tax professionals who are now monitoring filing patterns. They say early filers are up 15% among green card holders this year. They say consultations have increased dramatically. And they say the confusion about March 15th is likely part of broader misinformation intended to create panic. But informed green card holders are not panicking. In fact, they are taking control of their tax obligations. Their response this season, researched, professional, and timely, sent a message to the IRS that they take compliance seriously, and it sent a message to their communities that proper guidance matters. As tax season continues, we expect more clarity to emerge about specific filing requirements. But what we do know is that professional guidance is essential. It prevents penalties, it ensures compliance, and it provides peace of mind. What you should do now: if you have foreign accounts over $10,000, file FBAR by March 15th or request extension. Gather all account statements from last year. Calculate maximum aggregate balances. Use the FinCEN online filing system. If you're unsure, consult a tax professional before March 15th. Review your complete financial picture. Don't rely on social media for tax advice. Keep detailed records of all foreign financial activity. And tonight, for the first time in years, green card holders appear to be better informed. Tax preparation offices are busier than usual. Consultations are comprehensive. And when immigrant communities seek proper guidance, it means they are taking their obligations seriously. It means they are making informed decisions. Because this tax season, green card holders learned something many have learned before. Deadlines matter, but understanding which deadlines apply to you matters more. Compliance protects your immigration status. And professional guidance prevents costly mistakes. This tax season is far from over. But tonight, one thing is clear. March 15th matters for specific taxpayers with specific circumstances. Not all green card holders need to file by March 15th. And knowing the difference could save you thousands in penalties. And we will be here providing accurate information as tax season unfolds.